Okay, Mike, here's the deal with this Ultimate MK3 board that I got for 40 bucks in non-working condition. I went over the back pretty thoroughly, bent all the pins that were close to each other or maybe touching away from each other. I pressed on these chips while the machine was on and plugged in and everything, and I noticed when I pressed on here I got the rug pattern on the screen. It actually started showing something. So I took it out. Further inspection showed that these pins, flashlight, these pins here on the end, the last three of this TI Texas Instruments chip. It's hard to hold the flashlight and the camera at the same time. Those last three pins were bent over to the left and were touching each other and not connected to the soldered to the board. So I attempted, notice I said attempted, to resolder them back on. In the process, those two end prongs got kind of soldered together. I tried to separate the solder as much as I could. I couldn't do it. Maybe they're not touching through the solder, I'm not sure. But they're all there now and close to where they should be. I now plugged the board in to test it, and I will show you the video of what it did. It actually started showing the ROM test screen. Everything was working okay. It got to ROM 124, and ROM 124 turned red. Also, some of the other ROMs, I'm not sure if it's normal or not, but some of the other ROMs were blanked out. They weren't green, they weren't red. It just never checked them. So I'm not sure what happened there. It said no response from sound system. So I got a bad 124 chip ROM, which ironically is the only one in this board that looks different. There is like a rainbow colored board there that you can see through. It says that Singapore, so it does match some of these other ones. I guess maybe these are the same. It's just the decal came off. I pulled this ROM out, tried pushing it back in, reseating it. That didn't seem to do it. I looked at the pins on the back. They don't seem to be touching each other. I'll attach a video of what it does. When it does its check, it just it'll run the check. It starts to go to the screen where it'll say CMOS OK, and then it says no response from the sound system, timeout, something like that. Errors detected, press any button. You press a button. At one point I kind of thought I saw it start to go to the screen where I think it says parental advisory, blood and stuff like that. It might have started to go to that screen, but immediately it went to the carpet screen, or the crosshatch patterns, just different random colors and everything like that it'll show when you do your test. And it just kept looping back and forth between them, doing the RAM chip test and trying to start, and then just back to the RAM chip test. And like I said, this 124 is bad. Now when I take it out, I don't see anything noticeably wrong with it that I can see. There you can see 124. All the contacts look good. I tried putting it back in, and I'm not sure if it matters if it goes in a certain way or not. Try flipping it around once, but pushed it in really good, made sure it was reseated. I checked the back, made sure that none of the contacts were contacting each other. So I did that. I am now at a loss because I don't know if just this one RAM would keep the game from actually playing. You know what, let me just instead of splicing two videos together, let me just throw this in the cabinet real quick, and I'll let you see firsthand what is going on. So let me put the camera down for a sec while I throw this in the cabinet, and I'll turn it on and you can see what it does. I'm only hooking up the JAMA connector. I'm not hooking up any of the other wires. All the other wires, the kick harness, the power wire for the soundboard, for my MK2 PCB that's in here are left hooked up to where they always go. So the only thing that's being hooked up is the PCB board of Ultimate MK. So we turn it on. Get no power up thing like my MK2 does, but we've actually got picture, which is pretty nice. Oh, now I got a bad 133. Oh wow. Okay. That's kind of weird. Let me flip that ROM around once and just see maybe, because they weren't doing that until I flipped that ROM around. So maybe there is a certain way that it has to go in. Or if not, then we've got other problems. And I don't know if we'll ever get this figured out, but let me pry this ROM out right quick and reinstall it the opposite way, the way that it was in there. Pushed it in there pretty good. And let's try this once. See if that makes a difference. The top one's checking. Okay, now here we go. That's more like it. These top ones up there don't check. I don't know if they're supposed to, like the V1, V80, U2, U6, all those. As V33 doesn't check. As you can see, U124 is red. Everything else checks out though. There is no sound though. Like I said, I don't know if it's because I got to wire up my speaker differently. And then you get the message ROM chip's bad. These bottom rows here, these bottom last two and one there aren't checking at all. So you got those not checking. I believe this is version 1. And we go to the sound system version, revision 1. Timeout on response, and now it'll just keep looping here. It says timeout on response from sound section. Game serial number. Then it does the carpet pattern or whatever you want to call it. It'll just keep doing this, then it goes back, does the ROM check. Hold start, checking sound section. Wow, sound section bad, V1. Not sure why that's happening. And then again with the hitting buttons doesn't really do anything, just checks the RAMs, the ROMs, whatever. U64 didn't check. Now I don't know if any of this is occurring because those two pins that I soldered that I showed you in the beginning of this video, they may be touching or soldered together. I don't know if that is affecting anything negatively, or for all I know, I guess they could both be ground, so two grounds soldered together probably wouldn't hurt anything. Not sure, but the U124 is still coming up bad. And ROM chip's bad, press any button. It doesn't check the sound for some reason. It's like it skips it. Sound system goes back to this. So this is what it's doing. I don't know if just that one ROM chip would cause it to do all this. Let me try to skip it one more time. Checking sound section now. I just skipped, I guess, these tests, and it takes quite a while. And if it does what it did before, the V1, yep, V1 is bad, and it just keeps repeating itself. So we made some progress, but still definitely multiple errors and problems with this board. So hopefully you'll be able to help me out. Thanks for watching.